how reasonable or how easy is it for a guy to optimize his health in his 40s and 50s? Because you're about 40, right?
Yeah, I just turned 39, so 40 this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay. So I got
I've
about
so yeah, I've been investing since 15 years old. Right? I've
okay.
been doing the diet and the training, and then I was drug free for 10 years, and then 26 I started getting my hands dirty with PEDs.
Mhm.
So I'm not really the most accurate 40-year-old, because when I look back on my classmates that are now 40,
Mhm.
ooh, oh man,
Yeah.
those guys look 55.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Most most of the guys that I can go back and look at on, from high school on Facebook, because that's
yeah.
that's what happened with Facebook. All classmates from high school, you kind of friend each other, and you're like, oh, and you
I
kind of look
start
at your lives,
reaching
and
out.
you're like,
You're on
what the hell
YouTube now,
happened
so
to you, dude? Like,
yeah, yeah,
or what happened to her? Oh my God, look at the state
yeah,
of her. Like she was hot, and now like so.
yeah.
How easy or how difficult is it for you to manage optimal health and a
Mhm.
masculine, strong frame while making sure you're not damaging your body prematurely?
Again, it's a full-time job, but if you've been doing for a long time, then it's just your standard of living. So I've always cooked my own food, and I've always gone to the gym, and I've always done my blood work, and well, for the last, what is it, 15 years, I've taken some PEDs, right, to manage my physique and my health at the same time. So for me, it's just easy, because I don't know any different. But if you're just getting started, man, it's just a shift. If you come from general population and you've been eating McDonald's since high school, right, like we
Mhm.
talked about, and you continue that lifestyle, and now you're a fat mess, yeah, that switch is going to be rough, right? And you don't even deserve TRT because you're so unhealthy that you need to fix your health first, because otherwise your blood pressure is just going to go up and you get all these side effects. So I think it's just a slow transition to wherever you start from now. You start to learn how to love training, and then you learn how to love nutrition, and then you learn how to love all the health screening and stuff. And then once you got that in order, okay, take a little bit of PEDs if your blood work shows that your testosterone is low and your blood pressure needs more management, and then maybe later on you like a little bit of a mastrone, a primo, or anavar, or GH, and IV treatment on top. um, I think you should set 2 hours per day aside for that, which is
Mhm.
a lot, but that includes the training, and maybe 3 hours, the training and the diet, and doing a couple injections if you do so desire, and taking some supplements. And I think if you invest into your physique, you can make it last such a long time.
Mhm. What's
And
your
a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So, what's your go-to foundationals for supplements and prescriptions and drugs that
Yeah,
you pretty much always use? Because I know that you kind of like move in and out of certain things. You
yeah,
talk about it on your channel. I want to fix my fatty liver disease, or I want to fix,
right.
this sort of thing, or I'm going to take this out of my diet for a little while, or take these out of my regime. What's your like
Mhm.
go-to sort of mandatory baseline, foundationals right now for supplementation, drugs, and prescriptions?
Yeah, so that changed so much as I get older. Because if you ask the 25 or 30-year-old me, I would, lay out a hefty cycle and said, "This is my base. This is what I'm going to do because I want to be jacked." And now that I'm 40, I mean, we're going to aim for kids this year. So my cycle is going to be very simple. It's just going to be fertility medications, and to get my
Clomid,
testicular
HCG.
ACG and HMG, and if that doesn't work, then I'll go with recombinant follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. It's a
Mhm.
little bit more expensive. So my protocol kind of changes all the time. I think the foundation should be diet and exercise, as boring and annoying as it sounds. Right? It's also the bodybuilder, the training and the nutrition you have to, but it is true. That's the
Mhm.
foundation of it. Then as you look at your training, you can see if you need some supplements for that, whether that's creatine or citrulline,
You
as a
use creatine?
pre-workout. No, not anymore. But my being huge aspirations are over.
Over, yeah. Do you
I
think that creatine is damaging to your organs like your kidneys, or is it safe?
No, no, you just need to stay hydrated.
Mm.
Because the old school mentality is that your creatinine levels are a good indication of kidney health, which is a very poor indication of kidney health.
Mhm.
Creatinine is just a metabolic byproduct of protein metabolism in the muscle. So if you have more muscle, you're more physically active, you'll have more creatinine. And if you
Mhm.
take creatine monohydrate or another creatine on top, your serum creatinine levels are going to be higher. And if you're worried about your creatinine, do a 24-hour urine collection test, get an actual glomerular filtration rate tested, not the E, not estimated GFR, a true GFR with a 24-hour urine collection test. And then you'll see that your GFR is like 170%, even though your serum creatinine levels is very high, and the eGFR is 70%. But your real GFR, based on your urine, is way higher than 100.
What
So
else do you use?
look, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go
sorry?
ahead. Finish. Yeah, finish. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want an indication of kidney health, look into cystatin C. That's kind of the gold
That's the one I
standard of
use. Yeah.
kidney health. Yeah. So that's finally that's finally catching on, because I've been using that one for years.
You'd be
And
surprised. There's very few labs that do it here, Steve. Like
I know
for me to get
Canada's horrible.
mine done, they'll pull the blood here. None of the
Mhm.
technicians know about it. Like I brought it up and they're like, what's it called? How do you spell it? And then, a supervisor comes in, what's it called? How do you spell it? Then they find it somewhere in some submanual. And then they send the sample down to California, which is where they measure it.
Yeah.
And then they send the numbers back from there, right?
Yeah. No, it's very frustrating when you realize that you know way more than the medical professionals that you have to deal with to keep you healthy preventatively, because preventative health doesn't exist. They only have reactionary health.
Yeah.
Right? You get yourself sick. Okay, now you go do chemo. Right? You get yourself sick. Okay, now we cut out your prostate.
You really have to
etc.
take ownership for this yourself. Like you can't rely on the medical community because it's more sick care. It's more just keep you healthy enough that you're not dead and not sick enough that you're in the hospital. And by the way,
Yeah.
take all of these, 72 pills that you need every day for
Exactly.
your heart.
Yeah, all the
blood pressure,
medications with
fatness and
when
all
you
that.
start reaching the medication, you're like, man, this is some serious stuff. And they forgo all the drug interaction. So let's not even go there. So I think if you're 40 years old and you're, regardless of age, if you really invest into your health and you get educated on the subject of health, man, you can improve the quality of your life so much. But just like a regular job or a relationship or owning a car takes time. Right? You need to drive it, maintenance, and the car in the human body analogy is always valid. Treat your body better than your car. People understand that no, unfortunately not. You need to clean your car. You need to wax it. You need to make sure you have the proper tires. The engine needs to be sustained. And then people know all about this, but then you ask them about their organ health, and they're like, I don't know. How's your blood pressure?
They have these tests for cars. It's called Blackstone Labs, and I've used them before. Great company. And what you do is you send them in a sample of your oil. And then they measure the oil for things like copper, which might come off the piston rings or seals, and various other metals parts per million. And then they send you a lab back and they say, from all of the cars that we've measured the oil on, that's something like the last car I did on it was a BMW M5. And they're like, this is the average. And then this is where you are. So you kind of have an idea based on the mileage, how much wear and tear is happening on the engine. And a lot of guys in the car community will get geeky and really, do stuff like that to see, how much longer their engine's going to last, stuff like that. But guys won't pull blood labs because it costs too much money, right? Like this is your body. This is your own blood. Like your blood's like oil in a car, right? But they won't spend the money or time on themselves.
Unbelievable, right? And it's the same people that really love their pets. They give their pets like raw food. They cook food for their pets. They really treat them like kings. And then they
I've seen
eat
ads for NMN for your pets, like pet chewables
Oh,
now.
wow.
Yeah, showing
Oh,
up
wow.
in my feed and social media.
Oh, that's crazy. So I hope that, like, in the end, this is all you have, right? This body is all you have.
Yeah.
And if you treat it really well, it lasts, and it gives you such insane return of investment. Like the ROI that you get out of spending all the time in the gym and cooking and IV bags, etc. The ROI that you get out of that is insane, because I don't have any of the issues that most 40-year-olds face. I don't have the libido issues. I don't have the acne issues. No hair loss. It's just self-induced, right? I mean, it's just more convenient. And so all these Gen Pop 40-year-old or 50-year-olds that I hear talk about their issues, I have none of it. Because I invested such a long time. And I would recommend everybody to do the same, And if you're not financially secure, instead of spending money on cheap thrills, going drinking and that kind of stuff, spend it on yourself, man, on your body. Level that up first. And then you'll see that everything in life will be 10 times easier.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here. And pinned down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.